Most people think INFJs are dangerous because of what they do. The truth, it's because of what they don't say. They feel everything and say almost nothing. Behind the calm smile is overthinking that never turns off. Behind the compassion is exhaustion they never admit. And behind the light everyone sees is a shadow they've learned to hide. And if you've ever felt like you're too much, but also invisible at the same time, this isn't random. This is the INFJ pattern. This is called emotional overextension, where your empathy doesn't just connect, it absorbs. If you spent your whole life feeling like an outsider looking in, drop a yes or a heart in the comments. You're not alone in this. You don't just understand people, you carry them. Their stress becomes your stress. Their pain becomes your responsibility. And the worst part, no one sees it. So from the outside, you look calm, but internally, you're overloaded. The INFJ loop. This is where things shift. When INFJs get overwhelmed, they don't explode. They disappear, not physically, mentally. This is the INFJ loop, where you get stuck in your head, analyzing, replaying, overthinking every interaction. You stop feeling and start calculating. You've done this before. You went quiet and nobody knew why. Then comes the moment people never understand. The INFJ door slam. From the outside, it looks sudden, but it's not. It's silent until it's final. You didn't lose them in a moment. You lost them slowly. And here's the truth people don't want to hear. By the time an INFJ walks away, they've already grieved you. But before that door ever slams, there is a long, quiet cycle of silence that starts with one simple habit: conflict avoidance. Conflict avoidance. INFJs don't avoid conflict because they're weak. They avoid it because they see too much. They see how it could escalate, how it could hurt, how it could change everything. So instead of speaking, they internalize. You tell yourself it's not worth the fight, or they won't understand anyway. So you swallow the truth to keep the peace, not realizing you're actually poisoning your own well. They say, I'm fine, but they're not. And this is where it starts to break them. Empathy burnout. Because when you carry everything, eventually you collapse. Where you've been strong for so long, you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You stop responding, you withdraw, you shut down, not because you don't care, but because you've cared too much for too long. And if you've ever disappeared on people, this is probably why. The explosion, because INFJs don't release emotions gradually, they store them. Until one day, everything comes out at once. And when it does, it shocks everyone. Not because it's new, but because it's been building for years. And afterward, you feel guilty for finally telling the truth. Idealism trap. INFJs don't just see people as they are, they see who they could be. And that's where the problem starts, because when reality doesn't match the vision, disappointment turns into distance. If you're nodding right now, you know exactly how heavy that quiet withdrawal feels. But there's a part of this pattern almost everyone misses. Not loud, not obvious, just quiet withdrawal, and people don't even realize they're slowly losing you. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you managed a situation just to keep it from exploding, even if it meant sacrificing your own needs? We talk a lot about INFJ empathy, but there's a shadow side to how you manage your environment that most people never notice. Hidden control. Here's the part most people miss. INFJs don't control loudly, they control quietly through planning, emotional awareness, subtle influence, not to manipulate, but to avoid chaos. Because deep down, they're trying to protect something, usually the relationship. But here's the truth. None of this makes you broken. It makes you unregulated. There's a difference, because everything that hurts you comes from something that also makes you powerful. Your empathy, your depth, your awareness. So the goal isn't to change who you are, it's to stop abandoning yourself while being that person. That means speak earlier, before resentment builds, set boundaries before burnout hits, and stop carrying things that were never yours to begin with, because the version of you that disappears isn't the real you. It's the version of you that waited too long to be heard. If this hit, there's more. Because this is just one side of the INFJ mind. In the next video, we're going to stop looking at these traits as personality quirks and start looking at them as a high-level cognitive system. I'll show you why your brain stays active when the world gets quiet and how to finally turn that noise into clarity. Subscribe to see the next chapter.